Listed as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity by UNESCO since 2014, the ritual dance of the royal drum is a practice that shows happiness and a tradition that Burundians hope to preserve and share with the world. This culture has been described as a spectacle combining powerful synchronized drumming with dancing, heroic poetry, and traditional songs. It was not only my father who beat the drums, but all my great-grandparents will beat the drum. We play drums because it's our destiny, because it is in our blood. It's not for the money. In the tiny landlocked nation of 12 million people, drumming troops, big and small, perform at weddings, religious ceremonies and other celebrations, as well as competing against each other. The importance of these drums in the country is that they were played once a year on various occasions, especially on the national festival of Umuganuro, where the king presented his wishes to his people for the new year, like the President of the Republic currently does in his message to the nation on the last day of the calendar year. In 2014, UNESCO recognized the cultural value of the tradition, inscribing the ritual dance of the royal drum on its list of intangible world heritage. Since then, the Burundian government has enforced strict rules around the practice. It's not UNESCO that will protect this cultural heritage in our country. This is the reason why the UNESCO listed the practice. We decided to regulate the practice on ourselves. In February, a troupe of drummers caused a scandal by playing at a festival in non-regulation black suits. The festival was stopped and the troupe suspended for 6 months. I can't say that these are punishments, but rules that must be applied because Burundian culture forbids certain practices, such as drumming at weddings, which has had a great impact on the markets we used to have. Troops have since been required to formally register with authorities, while those wishing to hire drummers for a private event need to apply for special permits costing over $250. With the world food crisis worsening due to the ongoing war in Ukraine, the focus is now turning to Africa for solutions. However, experts say it's too early as the continent is not yet ready.
So it's well known that the productivity among, in particular, smallholder farmers are very low, and a green revolution that dramatically changed productivity and output in particular in Asia, but also in Latin America, has not really had that impact in Africa. I think one of the concerns is that markets are not functioning particularly well in Africa.
Climate change is also an important factor. The Horn of Africa, for example, is facing its worst drought in decades. The United Nations warns tens of millions of people on the Horn of Africa are at the verge of starving. Many flee in search for a better life and some make their way to Europe. Between January and May this year, Frontex recorded the arrival of some 86,000 illegal migrants. During the COVID-19 pandemic, there was a slight decrease in the arrival of illegal migrants in Europe, but it was temporary. Right now, we are seeing a much more disparate situation. We are seeing whole families leaving West Africa, and we are seeing that there are new routes. Typically, the routes that had the most deaths was a central Mediterranean route, where people arrived from West Africa, crossed the Sahara Desert, and had a lot of problems, especially in Libya. On this desert route, specifically in Libya, a lot of people were dying, and this is new to us. We always talk about the Mediterranean, but most other people who try the route die in the desert, some in Libya, or are in a situation of forced labor. What we are seeing now is an increase. So since last year, 2021, the numbers have already reached the pre-pandemic numbers. The numbers are increasing now in 2022, and the deaths are increasing as well. On top of that, there are new routes. We are seeing a lot of families trying to get to the Canary Island. This route didn't exist before the pandemic. The food crisis, migration, economic and political reforms in Africa are some other topics discussed at the two-day Nova Africa conference. A first visit by British royal to Rwanda. Prince Charles laid a wreath on Wednesday at a memorial to the 1994 genocide in Rwanda. The royal couple signed a note of remembrance to accompany a wreath of white flowers and also spoke with survivors of the genocide in which some 800,000 mainly Tutsi people were murdered by Hutu extremist forces over about 100 days between April and July 1994. Charles and Camilla also toured the Memorial Museum where they viewed photographs of the victims and their possessions and heard personal testimonials about the killings. The royal couple touched down late Tuesday in Rwanda, where the Prince of Wales is representing his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, at a Commonwealth summit this week. The leaders of many Commonwealth nations are expected in Kigali in the coming days for the meeting of the 54-member club of mainly former British colonies. Bayern Munich on Wednesday signed Sadio Mané from Liverpool. Both clubs confirmed Wednesday as the Senegalese attacker has signed a 3-year deal with the Bundesliga champions. Sadio featured in 6 seasons with the British club Liverpool and appeared in 269 matches and tallied over 120 goals. The transfer fee is reportedly around $43 million for Mané, who won the Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup and Club World Cup during 6 years at Merseyside. Former Liverpool forward said he left the Premier League club because he wanted a new challenge rather than financial reasons. The forward is said to become Bayern's third signing of the close season, following the arrival of Ajax Amsterdam duo Ryan Gravenberch and Wassai Mazraoui. The Bavarians still won the Germans League for a 10th straight time, but failed to get past the quarter-final stage in the Champions League.
With the outcome of recent primary elections, Nigerians have shown renewed interest in registering to vote come 2023. Electoral body, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), has received reports from various states in the country indicating an unprecedented surge in the number of citizens that wish to register as voters, especially the youths.
I have to make my full effort and full support to vote for the right person, because we're already tired. We want the betterment of our country. We are tired of the corruption, the subsidy, the electricity. Everything is already fed up. I want something better for us.
To pass through this period, I've opened people's eyes, because this PVC is our power. So this time around, we are taking what belongs to us. That is why you are seeing this crowd here trying to get their PVC.
From INEC data, there were a vote base of above 84 million for the 2019 election and hopes to add at least 20 million new voters to its existing voter base. Paul Obasi says Nigeria has had so many bad leaders, adding that the impact of the sudden surge of voters could be very effective.
The impact of this surge will be that the people in the rural areas will no longer decide who leads Nigeria. Young people, especially in the urban centers, will begin to decide who leads Nigeria. So the population of young people in Nigeria will begin to be a deciding factor to whoever wants to become president in this country.
According to INEC, this registration exercise, which was scheduled to end June 31st, has been extended to August 31st to enable some of these young Nigerians register to vote. Michael Dibe, African News, Abuja, Nigeria.